Hello and welcome to Flippin Through, the internet's #1 Mad Magazine news, review, and interview channel. And today we're flipping through Mad Magazine number 418, released June 2002, cover price $3.50, which is indeed cheap. But before we do that, please let me remind you to hit like, hit subscribe, and leave a comment down below. That's the #1 way to support this YouTube channel. We're at 787 subscribers, and I want it to keep growing, and the only way I can do that is with your support. So please remember, hit like, hit subscribe, and leave a comment. If you want to support me in another way, patreon.com/flippinthrough. You give me $1. Wait, what is it? I think it's $1. I don't know. One tier will get you a sick set of stickers. Another tier will get you a pretty awesome set of buttons. That's a great way to support me because, I don't know, gives me a couple bucks, and I appreciate that. These are the people that I get to thank for their support on Patreon today. Jacqueline Gosling, Reflection of Perfection, Frank Snyder, Misimo, David Strickler, Megan McInerney, Shane Buckley, Bobby Weigel, Cam Hayden, Rob Wilson, Rod Mead Sperry, Andrew Goldfarb, Casey Ori, and Little Cozy Nostril. Thank you guys so much for your support. I hope I can keep on earning it. And hey, maybe you want to show the lighter side of school pride. Well, you can get this sweater, the Dave Berg High School sweater. And down here at the bottom, a liberal think, which is what Dave Berg is. So if you want, I don't know, medium quality sweater with something that I designed printed on it, check out my Etsy. That link is at, I don't know, down below, I think, and flippinthrough.com as well. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's talk about this. Wait a second. Where's me? Wonderful. Mort Drucker cover. That's kind of cool. I think it is, at least. Nice drawing. There's something I was noticing about this. One, I love the title. I love that the title is different. I like that effect, the spider web and the distorted original Mad logo. I think that's really cool. Something else that I found interesting is, outside of Spider-Man, the notable lack of detail, which is cool. Like all these buildings, it's just like they almost look like cardboard cutouts there. And I like that. It really draws my attention just to Spider-Man. I'm paying attention almost exclusively to that awesome illustration. It doesn't get lost in all of the other details that might be included. Anyway, they do this. This is weird. 21 hottest Star Wars rumors. I don't know why. Uh-oh. Ad alert. Yeah, watch out, folks. It's the ad alert. It's that time of Mad, that era of Mad where we get ads. Some of them are worse than others. This is the Scooby-Doo movie, which my children recently watched. I don't know, it was okay. Anyway, let's move on. This is like one of the worst table of contents ever. We do get like the little the Alfred E. Neuman wit right there. But really, you know what I'm all about. I'm all about that letters department. And right here we have one of my favorite things, Mad's Make a Dumb Wish Foundation. This is one of my most favorite things. So let's check this out. I have a wish. For the Make a Dumb Wish Foundation, I want to change my name to Alfred E. Neuman, but my mom still needs some convincing. So please send a letter to convince her. David Peck, Lacey, Washington. Dear Mother Peck, we're writing to you on behalf of your son David, whose dream is to change his name to Alfred E. Neuman. We here at Make a Dumb Wish Foundation urge you to take this request seriously. We needn't tell you these are difficult and troubled times we live in, and our youth face greater emotional and societal challenges than anything you ever faced. Parental guidance is either too lenient or too strict, and often both lead to the same end, the disenfranchised youth picking up an axe and planting it in their parent's skull. It is with this thought in mind that we reiterate our plea to let David legally change his name to Alfred E. Neuman. Ed. So there you go. I don't know. That's fun. And how about this?
I am a 70-year-old Mad fan going back to 1952. At number 1, yes, I have them all. Your so-called selling out by bringing in ads does not bother me in any way.
Oh, God. What a brown noser. 70-year-old fucking suck up.
If that's what it takes to survive in today's market, so be it. Dave Jones, Camano Island, Washington. P.S. Monroe's mother reminds me of my ex-sister-in-law, who is also a pig.
Who is also a pig and a slut. Davy Jones. It's rare that we receive a letter as brilliant and as insightful as yours. You truly have a beautiful mind. Thanks for writing. Any chance you could send us your ex-sister-in-law's phone number? Oh my God, that's almost too much. She's a pig and a slut. Oh my God. Now this is something I might do like a little mini video on, maybe like one of those shorts, who knows. But in Mad 415, they published something about Vince McMahon and made some joke about a wrestler. And a wrestling fan wrote in correcting them. And then another wrestling fan wrote in correcting that wrestling fan. And there was this little back and forth going on between these two guys all through the letters page of Mad Magazine. So I'm going to take the time and dig these out and read over it because, I mean, come on, that's too cool. What an age to live in that oh, shoot. Look at this. Totaled, less road, more rage. There's a video game advertisement right there. And also, this, I'm not going to do it on that, but enter to win the ultimate prize from Sobe. So, like, what the hell? I've never had a Sobe, and I don't know what the point of that would be. Of Sobe, like, I guess it's juice or something. Anyway, here we have Spider Sham, Tom Richmond, taking that top spot from Mort Drucker. And boy, this is a cool one. I really like this. I think I've said before, Tom Richmond's really good at doing like the big splash pages at the start of this. Something which Mort Drucker, I'm sure he did. But it's like Tom Richmond would every time would do it. Sometimes Mort Drucker, it would just be the title and then getting into the story, or it'd be like kind of smaller, I think. Anyway, I like this. I like all of the people looking up at him. I like his little hairy butt cheeks poking out. It's awesome. It's super cool. Lots of fun. Chicken fat. We have Batsman was here. I don't know, it's a clown right there. Max Korn up here in the corner. A Mad Magazine in the waste paper basket, in the trash receptacle where it belongs. And lots of flies zipping around. This spider's web. And that's like kind of an ongoing theme. There's like all of these little bugs hidden here and there. Some of them are like relevant, like that one, which bites Peter Parker. Look at there's the weird flies there, and I don't know. Oh, another cool little Easter egg in this one is this. We have. Oh, okay. Actually, I'm going to zoom in. I didn't catch this at first. Here we have Vince McMahon, the guy that looks like Vince. Well, okay, boom. Stan Lee, Hollywood or Bust, Excelsior. We got the Batmobile back there. We know Tom Richmond is a big fan of Batman. Down here, we have
Jesse the Body Ventura. Oh yeah, I'm the governor of Minnesota.
Anyway, that's pretty awesome. Do you know why he wrote that in? Because Tom Richmond is a Minnesota boy. Guess who else is a Minnesota boy? Governor Jesse the Mind Ventura. All right, we know them. Every Minnesotan knows every other Minnesotan. Here we have official XFL liquidation. I mean, this thing is just full of cool references. Here we have what's his face? Daredevil sniffing around in the background. It is fantastic. I love this one. It really, I don't know. It's pretty cool. Oh, speaking of pretty cool, I think they're going to be shipping out their Claptrap books pretty soon. So that's pretty exciting. Uh-oh. What? Something's happened. Oh no, the ad alert is broken. Ad alert. There we go. That's right, another video game. Gauntlet Dark Legacy on Nintendo GameCube. How about these masks, though? Those are sick. Moving on, 12 signs. 12 signs you may be too wired. This is kind of, well, maybe I'll read the introduction. As something bizarre has happened to Americans during the last decade or so, and no, we're not referring to the ability to tolerate Carrot Top. Used to be, we as a people craved independence, getting away from it all and being left the hell alone. That is until the advent of the PC and internet. Now it seems all we want to do is get wired and connect up to some more and more people by newer and faster methods for less and less a good reason. And of course, this being America, some of us get way too carried away, a fate that you can avoid by being aware of the 12 signs you may be too wired. I really like this. This is, okay. Here, I got to zoom in. Sorry, I got distracted while I was reading this. This brought me back. I mean, I'm like, what am I? I'm 38 years old. So I have like, I started at a very young age on the internet. And those of you who are older than me probably remember all of this stuff a lot better, maybe even more accurately. But what was cool about the early internet is that there was kind of a barrier to entry. You couldn't just hop on the internet. AOL kind of helped, but even AOL was like this sort of curated internet. It was almost like what Facebook is. You can just go to Facebook and have everything. It's a little bit of what AOL was. But so they have things like this. You dream in JavaScript and hypertext markup language. I remember making like really simple websites and stuff when I was in high school around this time and having to use like stuff like that. I didn't really know what I was doing, so don't ask me any follow-up questions. You seriously consider buying a global positioning satellite receiver even though you never leave the house. You spend so much time on sports websites, internet fantasy leagues, and instant score pager services that you haven't actually seen a game in years. That's interesting. I never was into sports, so I didn't know of any of that stuff. Then there's this. It's a throwback. You stumble upon a website link that lets you watch a streaming video of somebody's coffee machine in Denmark for 24 hours a day, and you click it. Now, this is actually kind of a real thing. I think what they're referencing is what is it called? The Trojan Room coffee pot. And so I'm reading off the Wikipedia. I looked it up because I knew this sounded familiar. The Trojan Room coffee pot was a coffee machine located in the computer laboratory of the University of Cambridge, England. Created in 1991 by Quentin Stafford Fraser and Paul Jardetsky, it was migrated from their laboratory network to the web in 1993, becoming the world's first webcam. To save people working in the building the disappointment of finding the coffee machine empty after making the trip to the room, the camera was set up, providing a live picture of the coffee pot to all desktop computers in the office network. After the camera was connected to the internet a few years later, the coffee pot gained international renown as a feature of the fledgling World Wide Web until being retired in 2001. This coming out in 2002, but June. Okay, so I don't know, it was still fresh on the mind. You actually think, what's your modem speed is a good pickup line. Then here we have, you need a password protected list of all your other passwords. And that actually is still a thing. And then here we go. That coffee machine in Denmark website you clicked on, you bookmarked it. People have always wasted their time on the internet. That's what's cool. You once sent email from your laptop to the PDA in your pocket with a CC to the internet-capable cell phone in your other pocket just to see if you could. And then here we have an insert, a self-insert from Tom Bunk. Whenever you fly, you get uncomfortable shakes, sweatiness, and dizziness, but only until the flight attendants announce that you can turn all of your electronic devices back on. Let's zoom out. What will we find? An ad. Yes, indeed. An ad. It's the ad alert. Sorry, guys. It's thick. It's thick as pig shit. Duke Bissell's Tales of Undisputed Interest, which I will... Here, hit pause and read it. Now here we have Mad examines some examples of misdirected patriotism, which is great. This one's awesome. But what's weird about it is that all of the panels are like cut out and they're overlaid on the flag, which is fine. But then the panels themselves aren't white, I guess, to make them distinct from the white of the flag. But they look like newsprint. So I actually checked. I wanted to know if this is a reprint, but it was not. This is it just, I guess because of that like tannish paper color right there, it just seemed like it might be a reprint. Anyway, it's not. I was probably the only one who thought it might be. Burl, Wyoming, to demonstrate his love for the USA, Mitchell Kaffneris shoots a bald eagle and has it stuffed and put on display in his Subaru dealership. Dude, we got so many eagles. I think we should open up the season on them. That'd be pretty cool. It is a bird, after all. Flagstaff, Arizona, Walmart clerk Ricky Perner shows his solidarity with New York's bravest and scores with lots more women now that he tells them he's a fireman. That's some context that I'm failing to bring up. This is June 2002. September 11th was 8 months previous, right? June, July, August, September. 10 months, 9 months previous to this. So we're ramping up. We're fighting wars. This is top of mind for a lot of people. Is, you know, Lee Greenwald's proud to be an American. Supporting our troops, doing all of that stuff that we love. We love to do. Here we have Tampa, Florida. Topless dancer Amber begins working exclusively in her sequin stars and stripes G-string because anyone watching it will immediately think of the brave men and women serving overseas. Well, that's, I think that misdirection of patriotism is okay. All right, let us continue. Here we have something. Well, here's the drama on page 20 with John Caldwell. Not written by John Caldwell, funny enough, which means that it's not funny enough. No, I'm just talking shit. I like this one. This is actually pretty good. Here we have the 21 hottest internet rumors regarding Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. Now, this is like one of those things that's kind of difficult. It's hard to write these, I imagine, because you have to come up with things. Like there was once in the past where it's like the 50 things about going to a baseball game, or the 50 something or others of some other thing, or the 100 things that happen when that other thing exists. And it's kind of hard. But what's, I think, a little bit easier, the writer has a hard task because you have to come up with 21 funny things on one single subject. The artist has a little bit easier of a time, I imagine, because they just have to draw a funny picture. I don't know. That just seems easier to me. It's like foreshadowing is moved to the dark side. Anakin reacts violently when he's told that got your nose is not a Jedi mind trick. And Herman Mejia rules. You guys know how I feel about him. Like, let's zoom in on some of this stuff because it's so good. Like, I don't know, even like, look at this one. I love this one. Anakin first expresses his interest in Amidala when he uses the Force to undo her bra. Oh, that old romantic. So this art, this goes on for a very, very long time, but this art is absolutely fantastic. The scene with Geraldo reporting from war-torn Tatooine is left on cutting room floor, just like In Sync. I don't know what that In Sync reference is. Herman Mejia is so great, though. Uh-oh. This is the worst type of ad in Mad Magazine. It's the worst type of Mad ad, and we've seen this before with, I think it was Altoids, because it uses a mad artist or a mad property to sell the product, and that feels worse to me. That feels like a little bit more gross. I don't know, because it's like one thing when it's like just very apparent that it's an ad. It's a whole nother thing when it's this kind of disguised as mad content. Here we have Monroe and the Love Lesson. And as I mentioned in the past, I love Monroe. I'm skipping this though because Kyle, Bridget, and I are going through every single Monroe issue and on our podcast, Potter ZB, the comic book nerdcast that dares to ask what me worry. Check that out. Link down below. But this is a really good one. I love it. I love it. And Barbieri and Ray are just like the dynamic duo. Here we have a lovely spy versus spy. So he goes in, he says, no, you can't. Can't check out that book. Oh, it's the booby trap book? And it's been booby trapped. He didn't need to check it out. He laid the trap. Here we have the lighter side of, in like a redesign. And this lettering is weird and to me off-putting. And I have to say I really don't like, I much prefer my lighter side of to be black and white. And hey, I should remind you, if you want to show your love of Dave Berg like I love Dave Berg, get the Dave Berg High School sweater. That's right. Show the lighter side of school pride and check that. Ow! Ad alert. That was a false alarm. I apologize, you guys. That is my bad. And then again, here we have Drew Friedman and Barry Liebman. What is a terrorist? Not even a year since 9/11. So this is all we can think about. So I'm actually surprised that there was like such little coverage of political stuff during this time. Yeah. A terrorist condemns anyone who doesn't agree with his religious viewpoints, even among members of his own faith. The abortionists have got to bear some burden for the terrorist attacks because God will not be mocked. I really believe that the feminists and the gays and the lesbians who are actively trying to make that an alternative lifestyle, I point the finger in their face and say, you helped this happen. Like Jerry Falwell and Pat Robertson. Terrorist slavishly devotes himself to an egomaniacal, mentally disturbed leader, like many of Howard Stern's fans. Baba Booey! Baba Booey! Love Baba Booey. I don't even know what it's from, but I love it when people shout it out. A terrorist invites people to commit acts that no sane person would even think of trying, like the producers of Fear Factor. A terrorist does not respect human rights or our constitutional freedoms and acts as a law unto itself, like the IRS. Ooh, love that anti-government humor. A terrorist selects his leaders without giving one thought to what the general population wants, like Katherine Harris, James Baker, and Jeb Bush. I don't get that reference. Hanging chads. This is a hanging chads thing. A terrorist shows his utter contempt for women by the absurd way they force them to dress in public, like women's fashion designers. A terrorist is often described as mean, like Bobby Knight, sullen, as Snoop Dogg, humorless, as like Adam Sandler, and utterly devoid of any real ethics, morals, or objectivity, like the Supreme Court. Anyway, there you go. Oh, here we have. I really wanted to read this one because I like Spider-Man, but it feels like an ad. It feels like an ad. I'm not going to ad alert it, but it does. I can't help it. And I will die on that hill. Just so you know, I'm willing to die on that hill. 6 Feet Under was a really good show. And then the last thing that I can really look at is this, the Mad Bulletin Board. This is great. Like, I know I was just talking about how hard it is to make like 50 things that are funny. A lot of these are really funny. Cure diarrhea over the phone. Please call from toilet, 555-3838. Research volunteers earn up to $12. Painful bone grafts, followed by unnecessary bowel surgery, will pay for the first week of 2-month-long hospital stay. Tired of funny state-of-the-art websites? Visit Alice, I love you, call me. Alice, why haven't you called me? Alice, why haven't you called me? Seriously, Alice, was it something I did? Call me. You're a bitch, Alice. Go to hell. Call me first, though. Alice, sorry about the bitch incident. Call me. Ah, how delightful. And here we have, ad alert. This is my most memorable Mad ad, is the angry corn. I don't know. Hardcore corn. Were they trying to like make a joke about hardcore? That seems so bizarre. So strange. And wait, what is this? It's another ad. What a depressing way to end this episode. You guys remember, hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment down below. Thank you so much for watching. Toodaloo.